Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm finally back. I had a little bit of a vacation, that's why I posted my one video early, but I was sitting around and thinking about video ideas that I wanted to do, and I have a whole bunch planned for the next few weeks, including a moving vlog, which is going to be really exciting, and an apartment tour. But today's video, before we go ahead and get started, is going to be the video that you guys voted for on my Instagram, which is going to be the worst high school experience story time. And this is going to get a little bit heated because I remember this like it was yesterday, and I remember how like traumatizing it was and how much I hated this. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. Okay, so this story time takes place when I was a junior in high school. So I was about 16 when this all started, and I turned 17 when I had quit this activity. So I was in the color guard for my school. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that because, yeah, I was in the color guard for my high school. I joined it the very end of my sophomore year. I auditioned because a couple of my friends were in it, and I thought it was gonna be fun. But I was definitely in the wrong. So let's just fast forward to band camp. If you guys don't know, color guard is a part of the band, right? I think that's how it is at most schools. So band camp seemed fine. Me and my friends were pretty chill, like we would have a good time and whatever. And then I started to notice that some of the girls would get a little bit weird toward me. And honestly, now that I think about it, they were always kind of weird toward me. No one really talked to me that much. They would talk to my friends, and like it kind of just felt like, you know, when you guys are doing something and you kind of feel like you're just forced to be there. That's really what this felt like. Like it felt like I just had to be there because my friends were there, and that I was just kind of like the sidekick friend, I guess, like the third wheel. And it was pretty much always like no one ever wanted to talk to me. No one really ever wanted to be around me. I remember when we were training for the flag tosses, whatever, I was having trouble like learning it. I just didn't really understand it. I'm just like not a really coordinated person. Like I like to sing whenever I was in choir, but that's whatever. And I was really struggling with it. And I remember they were just completely not having it. I remember this one girl, I'm not gonna say names, but she literally would like stare at me and be like, I'm gonna sit up. Literally like that, like the entire time I tried to be practicing. And I remember one time I like tossed the flag up and like got scared because I hate things coming at me. I don't know why I ever decided to join color guard, but I hate it when things like fall down toward me and stuff. Oh, there's like a bird that landed. But when things like fall toward me, it like freaks the hell out of me. So I don't even know why I joined color guard to begin with, because I hate things coming at my face. But I went ahead and tossed it, and I kind of moved back, and she literally, my person that I was working with was actually nice. She was like trying to help me and stuff and encourage me, right? And this girl was like, let's call her Haley. She was like, you're not supposed to be doing that. And I literally was like, oh, I'm the type of person that I don't like to get mad about little things for the most part. So like I was kind of laughing, and I was like, oh, haha, like, sorry, like, I guess it's okay. And she was literally standing far away, like across the gym, because it was like too hot or something and we couldn't practice outside. So she was standing like on the other side of the small gym that we were in and was like, it's not okay, and was like being so dramatic, and like to the point where all these other girls were like looking at me, and I was like so embarrassed. I remember my face turned red, and I literally just knew from that moment on that this was just not for me. So this next story has to do with more of the hazing and bullying, which this color guard tended to do a lot. And they actually even got the director involved, where the director thought it was okay to bully a 16-year-old girl and multiple 16-year-old girls. Remember, this didn't always just happen to me. They were also mean to other girls as well. They were even always mean to each other, so that's like whatever, but that just shows their character. But so I remember I was walking toward the band hall, and it was like a game night, right? And I had lost my gloves. So in color guard, if you've ever been in color guard, you know you have to wear like those finger gloves. And I had lost mine during band camp. So this is fast forwarded to when the school year already started. And all the girls constantly picked on me. They would literally, we did this thing called inspection. So they would inspect everything that you would do, like your outfit, your hair, your nails, which, girl, my nails were always done. I did not care about that color guard to ever get my nails off. During band camp, my nails are real, by the way. I use the Next Gen on them. They've always been real. But I went ahead, sorry, I have like new neighbors and they're like walking around. But I went ahead and I always had my nails like a pink color. These girls said that pink was okay. Okay, just wait for this. I would get my nails like a baby pink, and I would always cut them because they'd break from the flags, right? So they were always pretty short when I normally always have my nails long. I always keep my nails long. This girl in particular was like one of the captain's friends, so she thought she was all high and mighty, and I think she was like one of the only girls in the color guard that had a boyfriend, so she thought she was hot shit, right? And she comes up to me every time we would do inspection when she already knew like I was like so anxiety ridden. I literally would like look like I didn't want to be there. I remember one time I actually called in sick and told my parents to just ignore the director when he called them because I didn't want to go to color guard because I was about to quit. That's later in the story. And she literally goes, your nails aren't the pink that we were supposed to be wearing. The pink that I had was probably like the pink on my lips right now, which another girl that was the captain's friend again, the other captain, there was like 3, had my nail color. She literally, yo, I'm not kidding you, she had my nail color, which is like the color of my lips, I'm pretty sure. And I was too nervous to say anything at this point because I was too new like in the color guard, so I didn't want to say anything. But I remember we had to, again, the hazing, the bullying, they embarrassed you, so they made you run laps. Sorry, my eye is like watering all of a sudden, but they made you run laps. By that, during band camp in the morning, everybody would run a lap together usually, but if you were late, if you failed inspection, band camp in the afternoon, which was I think on Tuesdays or something, I couldn't tell y'all, I really couldn't, but they would make you run a lap, and then they would make the entire guard and some of the band, which was, the band like didn't care, they were like whatever, and some of the band stare at you. So they would be watching you, they'd be like gossiping, whatever. And I remember the humiliation I felt. And I remember I would tell my friends at lunch, and I was like, I hate this program. This is so toxic. Like, this is not right. This is bullying. This is hazing. And my friends were like, don't show up. Like, cuss the girls out. They were like, you have to defend yourself. Which back then I was so shy and stuff that I really didn't know how to. Unlike now, girl, if any of these girls would have ever tried any of that now, like, you best believe I would defend myself. But I didn't know how to back then. I was too shy and stuff. So, like, I just didn't know how to defend myself. And I remember I was running around. They were all screaming at me. And they were all like, Sarah, run! You're not running fast enough, blah, 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 blah. And I literally was having a bad day. I don't remember why, but probably because of all this stuff. And I remember I just lost it and broke down and started crying and crying and crying and was just freaking out. And I remember there was like one guy in the entire color guard, and he was actually pretty nice. And he was like, and his eyes got big, and he like looked at the other girls, because he obviously, I feel like he knew that what they were doing was not right. The director, whole other story, I hate him to this day, didn't do anything either. He encouraged the girls to act like this. So he would constantly encourage the girls to act a fool, act bad, encourage this behavior. So he wasn't doing anything, and he was watching me run, and then he just looked away when I started crying. Him and the assistant director literally were like, and didn't say a damn thing, y'all. I kid you not. I remember this like the back of my hand. Like, I dead ass remember this. And I remember they just ran off, walked away. I remember I was crying, and the only male guy in the color guard sat down with me and was like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm gonna quit. I can't do this, because this continued through the entire summer into the band camp, or past band camp, and into the competition season. And it was just ridiculous. The next thing I have to say before I like switch to another subject is I was never in one show, which I'll admit I wasn't that good, but they didn't even try to like teach you properly if you weren't good. They just kind of like talk shit about you, and the director wouldn't even like take you aside and try to help you either. So me and about 5 other girls were what they called shadows, which means when you're on those dots where you're learning your spot in the band field, you're following their every move. So fun, right? So at competitions, what they would do, which was even more embarrassing, instead of having us just sit on the sidelines or something, or not even freaking go to the competitions, they would have us stand on the track of the football field. And they wanted us to perform, since we really didn't know what we were doing, the entire routine. So me and these girls were like dropping things. One of the girls just didn't even do it. She just stood there, and she got in trouble, unfortunately. I remember one time I just decided not to show up for a game. It was a home game. And I said, I'm not going. I was like, I'm gonna pretend to be sick, because I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like this, I'm scared to go to band. And it was a class. It was like my first period. So I was scared to go to class. I was scared to stay after school. I would constantly make up excuses not to go because these girls were just rotten and the director would do absolutely nothing about it. After that whole like running incident, that lap, I was just done. I remember crying to my mom. My mom was like, how do you need to quit? This is not okay. Like the director's not doing anything. He's just embarrassing you girls. And that was just a disaster. So this next story is about the director just specifically. So I remember one day we were in the small gym and I heard the director talking to some of the girls about a number that texted him saying that he made someone cry or something. And I was like, you probably did, bitch. Like, I didn't care. I wasn't even like, hadn't do anything with me. That went away. That was done, whatever. And then about 2 weeks later, like we were about to go to a competition like the next day or something. The director storms up to me super angrily, right? And he goes, Sarah, come here. Again, this dude did not understand what privacy meant. He literally would do this when like 5 of the people were around. So because he didn't like me and he knew they didn't like me. So he would do this, embarrassing me and making me cry. And I literally looked at him because I didn't know what he was talking about. So I was like, okay, like why am I coming over here? So I went over to him and I was like, yeah, like what's up? What's going on? And he goes, is this account yours? And he shows me, okay, so he was in, little backstory again. He was in an outside color guard program, right? I'm not gonna say the name of it, but he was in an outside color guard program that's in Texas and it travels. I didn't like color guard at all at this point, so I don't know why he even thought this was me to begin with, but he somehow did. And he shows me this Facebook account that was like a fan page for, which, why would anybody do that? But whatever. I'm not trying to roast them. They didn't do anything, but it was like a fan page for this color guard program that someone made. And he found either a number that was similar to mine or like my mom's. I don't exactly remember, but it was very close to my phone number, right? And he goes, that's your phone number, isn't it? I remember I looked because it was like my phone number, it had the same 6 digits. So it had the same area code. I mean, the middle 3 digits were the same, but the last 4 digits were not the same phone number. And I remember he goes, is this you? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, I'm telling the band director that you made this. He's like, this is highly inappropriate. He was like, this color guard is super important to me, blah, 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 whatever he said. And I was just sitting there like, why are you telling me this? Like, that's not my phone number. I literally pulled out my phone and showed him my phone number. And he was like, oh, well, I'm still going to tell the band director because that's so inappropriate behavior. We need to find out who this was. Why are you so obsessed with who this was? They never did find out who it was. It wasn't even anybody I was associated with. It could have been just some random person that was a fan of the place. But again, he had to think it was me. Like, and he had to say it in front of people. And then he went and told the band director. The band director never said a thing to me, y'all. He never said a thing to me. He just, whatever, thank God. But he never said a thing to me. And this same director called my mom about it. And my mom literally knew I didn't like color guard at this point. So she basically was like, why are you calling me right now? And I remember hearing her voice on the phone. She did not sound happy with him. So I was like, sorry, dude. Don't be such a tool. So this next story is when I started to defend myself more after that whole situation. So I remember one day the girls were being mean to me on the field and they were being mean to the other shadows. And I started to get pissed off and was like, y'all need to stop with y'all's attitude. And I started getting an attitude back. I will admit to that. And I was basically saying that they were being really bad people and that we didn't deserve this and that whatever. And I remember I had like a big sister or whatever, and I hated her, y'all. I literally hated her. She was so beyond rude. And she would go to tell the other girls how rude I was, and they would all just stare at me and make me feel really uncomfortable. And I was always just like, what is going on? So I remember one time I stood up to her and I called her a bitch. I remember this. And I walked away. Again, the same girl that was friends with the captain. Me and my friend, I'm not gonna say her name either, but I know you're watching this, girl, and I still love you to this day, and I miss you. But me and my one friend were walking to our cars together, right, after school. And I was crying to her, and I was just over it, and I was telling her I didn't want to be in color guard anymore. And this girl, let's call her Katie, I guess. I don't want to say like too close to her real name, but let's call her Katie. she's screaming my name across the band hall, and she's like, Sarah, do you even hear me? Get over here. Girl, you are like 1 year older than me, first of all, and I don't have to listen to you. You're not anybody high up. You're the captain's friend, but you think you're high and mighty. And that's pretty much what I told her. And I remember I was ignoring her. I kept walking away. I was like, whatever. My friend was with me. And I remember she literally grabs my arm, and I pulled away from her. Like, I jerked back and turned around at her, and she's like, that is unacceptable. You don't talk to blah, blah, blah like that. She's like, I don't know who you think you are. And I literally was looking at her like, and after she was done rambling, I looked at her and I said, I don't know who you girls think y'all are. I was like, I'm tired of this behavior, and I'm about to go to the band director and get your color guard director fired. And I am not exaggerating anything in this story. I straight up said this to her, and she shut up. And she was like, she's like, I don't know who you think you are. Why are you being so rude to your little big sister? I was like, because my big sister is a bitch. I was like, she is so rude. She makes me feel bad about myself. And I was like, all you girls do is you stare at each other and you bring each other down. Y'all have nothing nice to say about each other. You're always doing bad things to each other. And I was just going off. And at this point, I'd also put in a request to quit from my counselor. And actually, like, another girl did too. So we were all quitting. So I did not care what I said to these girls. And I went off on her. Next day, she walked away. She didn't talk to me the next day. She was whispering to her little friends about me, and I was just like, y'all, I don't care. The pettiest thing I did do is I brought donuts for me and the other shadows and orange juice and like apple juice one day. And the captain of color guard got so pissed off because I didn't bring it for the other girls. Why would I bring it for the other girls? Y'all are all mean to me. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't do that. I'm not nice to everybody if everybody's not nice to me. You know what I mean? I'm very about you get what you, you get what you are giving to people. So I'm very much about that lifestyle. So if you're being rude to someone and someone's rude back to you, I immediately think that you deserve it, right? So of course I wasn't gonna get the other girls donuts. I didn't like the other girls. I did feel bad that 2 of my friends that were in there didn't get a donut from me, but honestly, I didn't really care at that point, unfortunately. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna get you guys donuts. Y'all are mean to me. Like, and y'all don't get me anything. Y'all stare at me and give me dirty looks. That's the only thing y'all give me. So that was a fun time. And then I remember the competitions, like, again, I said we would sit on the sidelines and stuff. We would be on the bus and we would do this thing where they'd make the bus like go silent for like a few minutes while you were going over train tracks and stuff. And I remember me and my friend were talking, and we'd always sat in the back of the bus because we didn't really want to be like talked to or anything. But like we sat in the back of the bus, and I remember the girls were still trying to start stuff with us. Like, we were being like super nice, and like, granted, some of the girls were nice to me, so that doesn't apply to them. But like, we were just minding our business. I had earbuds in, and I was showing them with my friend, and we were listening to music on like one of our phones. And they were trying to tell us to be quiet. Like, they were like, shut up, like, shh. And then the captain actually did defend us this one time, and she said, y'all, we're not on bus on silent. But again, it was just like little things like that. Like, they always had to attack me. The director never did a damn thing about it. The assistant director actually felt bad for some of us, and he was always like pretty nice to us, honestly, but never would do a damn thing. Always would get super mad at us. It was just a super toxic environment, honestly. Like, it was just so toxic. Like, I had never been so scared to go anywhere. And I remember that same year, the director actually got fired and was told not to come back to the band I was in. I don't know if I had anything to do with it. I don't think I did, but I like to say I did just because, like, whatever. I like to say it because I was petty and immature back then. But I was like, good, I'm glad you got fired. I think it actually was because he was on that other color guard and he wasn't supposed to be while he was teaching the color guard for my school. And he got fired, and I was like, you know what, that's your karma, because you're literally letting girls bully each other, and that's just not okay. Like, I don't deal with that. I don't roll like that. Like, I don't think that's okay. These girls for some reason thought they were hot shit, and I have no idea why. It was just really toxic. But oh yeah, at every event we would do, I always was left out. No one would really ever talk to me. When we were eating and stuff, I would sit by like a couple shadows and we would hang out, but we were all left out. No one made us feel welcome, even though we were a family my ass. But yeah, we all felt left out. People would always just be really mean to me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then when I quit, they were all like, we miss you, we're gonna miss you. And I literally was like, y'all don't need to be fake, because I know damn well you're not gonna miss me. Like, I'm not gonna miss any of y'all. And I didn't miss any of them. I was like totally happy without any of them. But yeah, so that was for this little story time. I hope you guys enjoyed this crazy high school experience. Honestly, this was probably the worst high school experience. I do have another story time of one more high school experience from my freshman year if you guys are interested in that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram down below. I post more content on Instagram every other day, and I hope you guys can honestly interact with me more about video ideas. So I'm really good about answering DMs and stuff there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you later.